Hey tubers, so a little bit of a change of pace. We moved recently, so the Wagoneer is on hold until the garage gets sorted. So in the meantime, I'm upgrading my kitchen drawer slides from this to this. Soft close. I'm using undermount, the Blum undermount drawer slides, soft close. Here's the part number. These are 21-inch, and they come with it came with all the necessary hardware. These are the locks that go under the they mount to the drawer, and then these are the slides, left and right, that mount in the cabinet, and this is a bracket that mounts on the back face of the cabinet. So I'll show you my process. I'm no expert. I've done 10 so far. I've got a few more to go. But here's the other stuff that's necessary, at least in my opinion. I bought this template from Blum. I'm not sure that that's required, but I'll show you how it works. It certainly makes things easier and takes the guesswork out of a few things. With the kit, you get a stop collar, so you know how deep to drill, and you get this extension so that you can hold your drill bit when drilling. In my opinion, you need a level, need a square, and you'll need to supply your own drill bits. They say 2.5 millimeter. I didn't have a 2.5 mil, so that's 3/32 for this extension, and they call for a 6 millimeter. I'm not sure what the equivalent was. Basically, this template shows you exactly where you need to, which holes you need to fill basically with your drill bit to get the right size. 2 barking dogs later, you'll need a light. Like I said, you need a drill, you need a screwdriver, level just to make sure. You'll need a square, at least I do, pencil, hardware comes with it. It's helpful if your screwdriver tip is magnetic, and I'll show you why that is. In my case, the drawers already have undermount slides, and I'll show you what they look like. They look like this, and there are some critical dimensions that you need to have before you order your Blum mounts. First of all, you need to make sure that your drawers are notched in the back like these are. You need to know this width. You'll need to know this width here, and you'll need to know the depth of your cabinet. So before you start taking anything out, at least verify that this original bracket is level. And I guess for most applications, unless you're installing brand new cabinets, you're going to have to deal with the fact that you still have a countertop on, like I do, and you're just upgrading. So if this is done correctly to start with, this should be horizontal. So make sure that you mark the bottom of that bracket. And you can see that should be at the same level as this bracket is here, making this horizontal. And just to verify, it is. So I'm going to mark the bottom of this bracket and the vertical like so on both sides, and then take those original brackets out. Go ahead and remove the original stuff. You won't be using these. I did save the screws though. And this is where the magnetic tip comes in handy, because you're reaching into the cabinet and it's very likely that all your screws will end up falling down and you'll end up fishing for them. So I'm being very careful and slow. I got 2 out of 3. Putting them in is a two-handed affair if you don't have a magnetic bit. Okay, now that the original hardware has been removed, the first step is to mount these locks. These are the only elements that will attach your actual drawer to the slide. And this is the front, so these are handed, so left and right hand side. This is where you don't have to use the template. I'm going to show you how to do it, and I've been using it, but you could just buzz these two in. This is how the template works. Place it like this in the corner, and you use the outermost holes for these particular locks. For different locks, you'd use the other holes. Okay, so I don't have 3 hands today, unfortunately, but drill these two in, and then screw them down. Okay, I found my 3rd hand, so I want to show you this before I get going. The back of this template shows you how deep your bits need to be. Same with the larger bit. Okay, and here's how it works. You make sure that the corner is inboard and down, and you use, for these particular locks, you use the outermost hole. Okay, and here you can see they line up perfectly. The other side here, for the larger drill bit, this ridge simulates the slide, so you need to make sure that this is outboard and back as far as possible. Okay, outboard, and you'll be using the larger drill bit for this. And that's the hole that we're going to be drilling in, and I'll show you what that's for. That's for one of the little hooks that attaches the back of your drawer to the slide. And on the other side as well. Outboard as much as possible. Okay. So now I'll attach these handles, the locks, and then we'll get back to installing the slides. Okay, so these go into the pre-drilled holes. Let me move it back here a little bit. Okay, that's all the work that you need to do on the drawer itself. And now that that's done, we'll get to the slides. I want to show you what these holes are for. These are the drawer slides. They're handed, left and right hand side. And that cutout in the back is for this larger section to sit into. And if you can tell, there's a hook here and another one on the other side. They're different hooks, but their sole purpose is, let me see if I can get it in the camera here, is just that, to snap into that hole, and that's where you're engaged. So now the whole assembly is essentially done. Now it's just to mounting these brackets. Now this bracket goes on the back of this. It's got two little slots that fit in like this. There's no other attachment between this bracket and the slide. So we'll mount this to the back of the cabinet, and then this will be free to slide and adjust if the drawer needs to move around a little bit. Okay, remember those lines that we marked from before? That's better. In the back of the cabinet, we're going to use those to reference where this bracket should sit. So this line here, that was the bottom bracket that marked level, should be where you put the bottom of this particular one. Okay, the left and right attachment we'll leave for another second here, but just remember that horizontal line. The vertical one isn't so important because the brackets don't match, but the horizontal one is important. Okay, so what we're going to do next is, actually, you need to put the bracket onto the slide first. Okay, put this in. I've pre-drilled a hole. I set it back about, I don't know, a 1/16 or a couple of millimeters, and you use one of the supplied screws. If you don't, there's very little clearance between the wall of this bracket and your drawer, and if you use a button head or another type of screw, it'll start rubbing on the on the drawer. So these are countersunk for that reason. Okay, so you need to make sure that that's the screw that you use, and then once that's tightened, we're going to measure this distance here and make sure that we're the same, where this bracket is parallel between here and here, and that'll mark our left and right location for that bracket. Okay, so I'll be right back. All right, I did this side, but I'll talk through it and show you how to do what I did. So like I said, you mount this front end first with the bracket loosely attached on the back of the slide, just like this one. Okay, so this one is attached here, it's loose back there, not attached. Remember, the horizontal line marks the level, but we don't know where the left and right alignment should be, and with only one screw it can still move back and forth quite a bit. Okay, so in my case, my offset here is about 2 millimeters from the edge of the cabinet, or let's see, where are we? About 13/16. Okay, so let's just stick with 2 centimeters. Okay, so 2 centimeters. You could use a scrap piece of wood, that would certainly make it easier, Okay, so you can see where that needs to be about like that. So using your other hand, you mark a vertical where the 2 millimeter or 2 centimeter line would be. Down there. Okay. And then you put it right where it's supposed to be. So now we're aligned vertically, and I'll go ahead and take a measurement and draw a line and show you where we're going to end up. Okay, so I've marked where those two lines cross. The vertical one right there is basically this is where our corner needs to end up, just like that. Okay, so this is where a magnetic bit really comes in handy, because reaching back there is not easy. So I'm going to do that off camera and be right back. Okay, so we are aligned vertically and horizontally. So now, if you want, you can test out your drawer. I'm relatively confident, so I'm going to put in 2 more screws on each bracket, and then we'll come back and try it out. Okay, so I've only just put the drawer on the slides. This is what they look like underneath, and they need to fit into that cutout, remember. What you do need to do next, you could try to push the drawer until it locks. I do it slightly differently. Push it in a little bit, but then I reach back and try to grab that little hook or the bottom of the slide and have it engage. There you go. I want that hook into the little hole that we drilled. Okay, so get it as close as you can, whichever way that you can. It's hard to do it one-handed, but I want you to hear the click when it engages into the locks in the front. Okay, so I'm going to set you down here for a second so you can, hopefully you'll hear it. There. Okay, so now that means that we are fully engaged here. If you want to take the drawer out, you'll squeeze these on both ends. And if we did everything correctly, and the vertical alignment seems to be okay. So that's it. Only 14 more to go. Like I said, I got these on Amazon, and here, oops, yeah, there's the part number. Got a pretty good deal. But that's it. Really, there's no difficult part. The most frustrating part is not having a magnetic bit holder. But before I get too far along, I think I'm definitely going to get one. Okay? Now, I mentioned using this. This is very handy when you've got multiple drawers. Then you set the bottom one, you install it as you would, and you use this to reference the left and right location of those brackets using the bottom one as a master. And then you get a really nice alignment doing it that way. Okay? So, good luck. well worth it. The Blum ones are the more expensive ones, but in the difference of, you know, 50 or 60 bucks, cry once, right? All right, have a good day.